Well, what a finish. What a finish. We talked to our team all week that this game could come down to one play, to one opportunity. And as you watch throughout the course of the game, I thought our guys put on display an incredible heart. The passion which they played with, just the effort, the physicality. I thought we dominated the game for the majority of it. Obviously there at the end, you had some things that happened that we just can't have. But the one thing that happened on the last play is what we absolutely need. It's determination, it's heart, it's a willingness that even after a disappointing moment, our guys responded. Anybody that's around our program, they know they hear that word all the time, respond. How do you respond when the challenges arise? And effort showed up. Guy made a play there at the very end and gave us an opportunity to win that game. We needed that game. It's big for our program. It's big for those kids that are in that locker room. It's big for everybody because we did have a great stage to put on display the identity of what I believe this team is made up of. And it's young men with character that love to work, that believe in each other, that they believe in the process. And I would have liked to have probably finished that game a lot cleaner than what we did. And but as I've said before, sometimes you need to go through what you need to prove you can get through. And even in that moment, it came down to one play, and our guys rose to the occasion for that last play. And so very proud of them. There'll be a lot to grow from this game. There's a quality opponent, a lot of draft picks out there on that field, and our guys they rose to the occasion. There at the end to be able to finish it. So proud of our football team.
On the second to last play, when Taylor's knee hits the ground, what explanation were you given to the officials why LSU was able to run an additional play for the game?
Well, they made a first down, so the clock would stop. But whenever it was stopped, it had to go to review. Obviously that extends the period of time. So it was the play would start with the snap, so they were going to get that snap off. It's just one of those things that there's human error that shows up in all, and I thought the officials did a phenomenal job throughout the course of the game in the communication, the way they operated. That was one that it's a tough bang call, and it's all part of it.
Mike, the range of emotions to go from the fumble to one side, then on the other side to block the kick. What was that like on the sideline for you guys?
I mean, it's never good to have a disappointing play or a disappointing moment, but ultimately, it's where you let your mind go, and even after the fumble, just go play the next play. Go play the next play. And ultimately, they did a good job of executing. They ran a good 2-minute drive. I mean, they were able to finish in the end zone. Go play the next play. And special teams, well, I mean, unbelievable today. Two block kicks. I thought obviously two takeaways that were created in our punt coverage unit. I mean, I told the guys throughout the course of the week, and you never know when that moment's gonna show up. You better be in position to capitalize on it. And I think that's what that game just illustrated in all facets.
Is it something schemed up on the blocks, or is that something just guys making plays?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, yes, we have a scheme to every week of where we believe that it can that there might be a weakness or an opportunity, but heart, desire, want to. That's young men playing the way that they need to play here at Florida State, and I'm just great for those guys to rise up in that time.
You said you needed to win.
Can you imagine a point in the future where you look back at this night and say this was the start of something?
Well, I mean, I think that every experience you have is the start of something. Right? I mean, I've told people I've got a lot of confidence in this team. We're still in our growing process. We have an unbelievable foundation that's been set. There were games last year that helped really push us moving forward. When you're sitting at the beginning of the season with a really bad record, the response that you show, and that's the start of something, because that's where even in those moments that a year later that shows up. I mean, our guys they don't doubt, they continue to play, and that's going to help them here at Florida State. It's going to help this team as we continue to grow. That it's going to help our program in the future. It's going to help them for the rest of their lives, and that's what brings joy. I'm having so much fun coaching this team because they embrace that. They embrace the work. They embrace the challenges. So to say it's a starting point, no, we've been on a journey. And there's been some real challenges on that journey, but you see guys that rise up to those challenges.
Jordan has talked about how kind of his full command of the offense. It seemed like that was really the case for him tonight. What can you say about his performance against a really good LSU defense?
Yeah, I mean that was and that's one of the best defensive lines in the country. They've got some really good players all over the field, and I thought that Jordan's decision making, the way that he located the ball, the command of the offense, some things, there's some challenging moments. He took a couple shots that, probably don't feel real good, but like you take the throw to Pokey there, the touchdown throw. I mean that was incredible. I mean, great catch, all those things. But somebody coming right down at you, that shows the heart, the belief, the willingness to step in and bad things might happen after it, but he's a phenomenal young man. I'm so proud of the steps we've seen from him, and just he's a great leader for this team.
Competition scares some guys off. I mean, Pokey's a guy that you've always talked highly about, but for him to perform like this on this stage, what does it say about him and his development?
Well, I mean, those guys, they're growing. I mean, you look at the receiving core today. I mean, they came up with so many big plays. We had some missed opportunities, but so many big plays, third downs. I mean, just watching them work on the perimeter. Deuce on the short reverse. I mean, those things, those plays are so impactful throughout the course of the game, and we have competition at receiver. We have guys that have great playmaking ability, and when they push themselves, throughout each day at practice, when they push themselves through the off season, they don't run and hide from the competition. They rise up, and I think that's what you're seeing in the case with a lot of our guys. And we don't know who's going to be there in the moment, right? But you have to be prepared for it. And it was great seeing Pokey, play the way that he did, and really had some impactful plays here tonight.
Shaheem is the guy that you guys said was kind of coming on. I'm pretty sure he was the one who got in there to get the blocked extra point. I guess what does that say about him being prepared for that moment?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a redshirt freshman, a guy that has an incredible future in front of him. He's really been doing a good job and playing more in the defensive backfield, and he's just scratching the surface of where he's going to go. But in that time, with that opportunity, he was able to go out there and made the game-winning play, and that should really help him as he continues to grow. And but he's done everything we've asked him to do, and I'm excited to watching his career continue to develop.
What's the first thing that goes through your mind? What's the first thing that goes through your mind when he blocks it?
I mean, I was watching. Once I saw it get blocked, I was just watching that crossbar, making sure that he didn't. But no, I mean it speaks to what this program's about. I mean, you just never, you were unconquered. That's it. Like, ultimately, at the very end, I mean, it just, anybody could just take a step on that last play, and all right, here we go, we're going to overtime. But they still had one. They still had one. And for our guys to believe that, I mean, you watch them throughout the course of the night, man, they just kept pounding their hearts. We talked about that all week. Right? And that's what's going to win games. That's what just won that game. It was heart. It was determination. It was the willingness to give a little bit more in a time of need. And ultimately we're going to go back and watch that film, and there's going to be a lot of things that will probably irritate me. And but I'm excited about going back to work and getting those better. But you also saw some really good characteristics out of this team with the physicality, the toughness, the mindset of how they played offensively, defensively. Like I said, that D-line, for our O-line to go out there and be able to, it was a grind to establish the run game. It was a grind to be able to do it, but I thought they did a really nice job, and guys just competed throughout.
Mike, as a play caller, it's obviously just a simple pitch at the one, but in that instance,
you go back and you look at something we ran earlier on a short yardage situation, and it's just the execution. Could I have had a better play? Absolutely. If it scored, that would have been a really good play. And I felt good about the moment. It's the first time since in the last couple of years that's happened to us. But what happened right there. So it's something I have to go back and look at and make sure that, hey, in those moments we're going to be aggressive. But we just got to make sure that we don't put the ball in jeopardy there. And that's ultimately I called the play, so it was on me.
What can you say about
on that stage? Sorry, Jared Verse on that stage, his first game really on that kind of stage, to have 2 sacks and make the plays he made. I assume that's the special kind of dude you're expecting to see all season.
I mean, it's I told him the other week, he's built for this. You know, and he's not built for it just because of the athletic ability. He's built in it because you guys watch him practice. You watch the mindset, you watch the approach. I mean, he has to go improve it every day, and he's not always had the easiest journey, but he gets an opportunity to go out there, and I thought he played at an exceptional level. Even with that, there were still some missed opportunities, and that's for us to win a game like that, to come down to the last play. That's what we needed. Now we got to go get better. We've got conference play starting up here in a little over a week, and we're gonna enjoy this one, I promise you. But we got to come back and we got to take those steps because we've seen flashes. We've seen flashes of what we're capable of. I like what I see from this team, but we're going to be more consistent. We got to make sure we're continuing to execute better from start to finish.
On your show on Monday, you said you're going to get a big if you win this game. How many are you having?
As many as they bring, because I'm excited about that. No, it's and I'll say this was I need to take a moment and just thank all of our Seminole family. I mean, all the fans that were here. That was incredible. And I told the guys, you go into a place that a game, you go on the road, usually going into a hostile environment. Well, that was an unbelievable environment. It was incredible feeling the energy, the passion. I mean, we've the greatest fan base in college athletics. To hear them, to feel them. I mean, when we landed yesterday and got to the hotel, the chills for the welcome that they had. I mean, they took over New Orleans, and obviously it was a great night for everybody, and you better watch out.
I'm sure the guys were confident during the week, but could you tell as the game went on that they maybe got more confidence that they?
Because they have the experience. They know they've prepared, right? And I said throughout the week, I had a lot of confidence in what this could look like, what it could be. But you still have to go do it. And when you go out there and you have the experiences, you see the benefits of the work and the labor and all the things that you do. That's where the confidence grows. It's not because we hoped that this would happen. It's because they worked for it to happen. And ultimately, there's still a lot of things we're going to have to clean up, and we have to continue to go to work for this team to take the steps necessary of where we need to go. But obviously tonight was a great moment.
Mike, going into the bye week now with this win, obviously that's got to kind of help things out a little bit going into this week, having it off.
I'm excited. I'm excited about having a few days to let guys heal up and really to reflect and see these first 2 weeks after a really tough and challenging camp. We need to now take those steps because we've had great opportunities. We've been on the road. We've been at home. We've got to see some great examples of our guys and what they can do. Now we've got to utilize every one of those days. A couple of them we're going to take off and let these guys' bodies heal up. But for us, it's about that constant growth and what we're trying to do. And I know our guys will do that as we get back to work next week.
Thank you.